Hey guys, this is Lindsey and you're watching Fanlalatv. But you also promised at the beginning of the year that Edgewood and Crosswell rivalry wouldn't get between us. You promised that family would come before football. You saw what Zach did to my truck. It took me 3 days to get it back to normal. I had to retaliate. I don't care about that, Gavin shouted, throwing his hands up. Retaliate all you want, but don't use information I gave in confidence to accomplish it. That's not fair to me or my teammates. He took a deep breath and squared his shoulders. And what about Keely? Talon's voice dropped into a low growl. What about Keely? I told you information because I believed you really liked her. Now I'm not so sure. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Talon snapped, echoing her own thoughts. It's something Finn mentioned the other day. Gavin crossed his arms over his chest. Something about a foolproof plan to get back at Zach involving his sister. Keely's pulse quickened. Noise crackled in her ear and she knew Nikki was going to speak. Not wanting to miss a word, she took out her earpiece. He's an idiot. You know that. Half the time he doesn't know what he's talking about, Talon protested. His posture was rigid, each muscle coiled as if preparing for an attack. No, Gavin said, his mouth lifted in disgust. Then why did you say the plan worked? Why did you say the only reason you went on that trip to Santa Barbara was to get her to fall for you? Her pulse stopped as her heart dropped to the pit of her stomach. Her hands started to grow damp and clammy as a sheen of sweat broke out over her brow. Loud squawking noises came out of the earpiece, but she ignored it. Is this true? Corrine interjected, her lips set in a firm line. Did you use this girl to get back at her brother? He jammed his hands into his pockets and stared at the fire. The flames cast a warm glow over his angular features, softening some of the harsh lines. JT, Corrine prompted. Something akin to fear flashed in his eyes. Taking a step back, he deliberately plunged himself into the shadows. His shoulders rounded as he dropped his head. I did, he admitted softly. Blood roared in Keely's ear as the truth smashed into her heart. She couldn't breathe, couldn't move. She felt as if the world had tipped on its axis and she was barely holding on by a thread. All this time, She couldn't finish that thought. Not yet. Not when her heart was breaking. A tidal wave of emotion swelled inside of her. She tried to block it, tried to fix the dam, but it was too damaged. Her defenses lay shattered at her feet. She let him in her heart, and now she was paying the price. A silent sob welled up inside of her. It caught in her throat, making it hard to breathe. Her hands clawed into the dirt, desperate to hold on to something real, something solid, something true. She didn't know how long she lay there like that. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 5 hours. But when she came to, a pair of arms were surrounding her. Holding her gently, the person whispered soft words of comfort in her ear. It's okay. He's gone, she said quietly, rubbing her back. You can let go now. Keely opened her mouth to speak, but all that came out was a gut-wrenching sound of anguish. Sobbing, she clung to her best friend, knowing that she was finally safe to fall apart. She took a deep breath before answering. Hello? Penis pump, he whispered angrily without preamble. Penis pump? Talon, Keely began, but he cut her off. I don't need a penis pump, he roared, his voice deeper than usual. I'm happy to hear that, she said sweetly.